What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? We are back. We are back. We'll give you guys a couple
We are
minutes to
back.
hop on in. But what's going on, Scott? Good to be back.
Nothing. You'll notice I am wearing Cubs gear today to celebrate the fact that they are back on top of the NL Central.
There you go.
However, as a Cubs fan, I don't get my hopes up when they're in first place until it's like 2 weeks left in the season.
I was about to say April hype.
Yeah, I look as a lifelong Cubs fan, I know how things usually work out. I'm hoping for the best, but I am
I'll switch for a minute for you.
always preparing for the worst.
There you go. So, I'll switch for a minute for you.
There we go. Did not know you owned a Cubs hat.
I do. That would be my son's fault when they won the World Series. It's the World Series hat.
I have the on-field version of that.
Of course you do.
Buried in a box somewhere over yonder.
But welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back. Of course, last week we were off. I had a long travel week. A lot of stuff came up, so we did have to push an episode. We're in the green room right now. For those of you unfamiliar with our YouTube broadcast, we do every single episode of this show live, and then, of course, we upload it to all the regular podcast platforms. However, we do have a little back and forth before we get started with the show, during the break, and then at the end of the show. So if you have any questions, comments, or anything, hell, if you want to call in, feel free to. And, leave those comments. We'll get to them on the break. And also, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, bell, and all that stuff that everyone in the world tells you to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, you want to kick into this week's show?
I think let's kick into this week's show. Let's get it rolling.
Because it's a big one. It's a big one.
It is a big one. We got a lot to discuss today. A lot of announcements from the Topps Industry Conference we're going to be breaking down for you.
Looks like we'll probably have some breaking news as we go.
We'll keep an eye on that. We're also going to be talking about a little bit about the NFL draft. We're going to be talking about some news
basketball.
Some news that popped out over the last couple of weeks that we just didn't have a show, so we couldn't talk about. We're going to talk about we also have a major announcement that I'm going to be popping out after the break, so stick around.
And I don't even know.
So. Drew doesn't even know, but it is going to be a massive game changer, especially for the hobby, but for everybody, because this is huge.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So let's get it rolling.
All right. Remember, drop those comments in the chat. Any questions, anything you guys have or have heard, or if you hear any breaking news, please drop it in the chat for us, and we will get to it as soon as possible. All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 218 of Let Me Get That Potograph. As always, my name is Drew, or the DH, and joining me is my co-host, Mr. Scott Rappaport. Hey, I love that tagline. SGA for MVP.
Sir.
I'm all about it, baby.
MVP. They're
so many
killing
of y'all laughed at
killing
me.
it in the
so many
people
laughed at me.
I know. The Lakers are out. That's my favorite part. And it's not, honestly, it's not. I got nothing against the Lakers. It's themselves. I just hate.
Yeah, it's
I hate LeBron.
It's
LeBron.
I know you do.
It's one of those things. But this is really exciting. So while we were on our little break due to travel schedules and all that fun stuff, y'all have heard me bitching and moaning for the last couple of years about this about this SGA redemption that I've been waiting over 4.5 years from Panini, and how it was Obsidian, and Obsidian is all sticker autos and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? They finally sent it to me. And now here's the best part. So I got it right here. It's an orange auto out of 50. Orange jersey auto out of 50. I am a little disappointed that for some reason with this particular series, and it wasn't just the SGAs, they didn't put the rookie card logo on these. Not entirely sure why. However, here's the best part. If y'all look around the signature, you'll notice there is not the typical reflection that you get off of the background of the Panini sticker. And the reason it's not there is because we all got hooked up. So for those of us that have been waiting forever for these things, and there's a lot of us out there, on card autos.
Yep. I zoomed it in there for him to see it there. It is on card.
It is on card, and there's a bunch of them that actually have been released earlier because he did sign a bunch of stickers a couple of years ago. So there's some out of 10 and a couple out of 25 that I've seen that were released a while ago. Hey, guess what? Those are still sticker autos.
Yep. For some reason, the oranges were the ones that were held back.
Oranges and the I think it's the green or blue or whichever ones are numbered to 75.
Yeah.
Those were held back as well because those started popping up around the same time that I got mine.
Yep.
So yeah,
but I love. Hey, I mean, we talked about it on the show when you were talking about that redemption, about how they had him in other products, but they hadn't fulfilled that redemption yet. It's really awesome that by the time they did fulfill it, that they did go above and beyond. And for Obsidian, you never get on-card stuff with Obsidian. Never.
Correct.
And you get it. And it's an RPA.
And it's an RPA.
I mean, yeah, you had to wait a long time and a lot more autos came out before you got it. But in the end, I mean, hey, at least you got it back at the right time.
No, exactly. But this brings up
sold it before this year.
Oh, exactly. And I would have sold it for a lot less than what they're going for now. And it is up for sale for those, that are asking. But it brings up an interesting question.
What's that?
So the ones out of 25 that have been released for a little while that are out there, they all have sticker autos.
Yep.
So what would you rather have between the two? The one numbered to 25 that's a sticker auto, or numbered to 50 that's an on card?
The on-card RPA all day long. And I think you'll see that reflected in the sales once people realize that those are on-card. Because let's face it, not a lot are for sale yet. Not all of them have been pulled or redeemed. And so you're going to see it. You see it all the time with stuff.
Well, but the ones that have not been redeemed, and we'll touch on this a little bit later, the ones that have not been redeemed are not eligible to be redeemed anymore.
True.
And we'll touch on that when we talk about the Topps conference stuff.
They're not eligible, but if they do have them and you redeem them, Panini will send it out. If you send that in and they have it, unless they've already white boxed it, unless they've already done something like that, if that's why I said if they have it still, then they will get it to you. I would assume after SGA finally showing everyone what I talked about on draft night, they are probably going to be going in white boxes as those values soar.
Yeah,
but pretty awesome. I mean, hey, I'm glad you finally got it. I'm glad collectors are finally getting them, but it's a lot better than just having to wait that long on a sticker auto with all the other autographs he's had since then.
Exactly. And that's why I'm happy about it.
Yeah. But speaking of redemptions, like we were talking about earlier, Topps at the beginning of the conference, which we'll get on all the news from that here in just a little bit. Topps, on the other hand, did something quite interesting with redemptions this week. They made an announcement that they are, no matter what your redemption says, their expiration
starting from the 21-22 or 2022 or newer products, depending on the sport.
Right. The redemptions are now valid for 10 years as opposed to 2, which freaking awesome. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, that's just stupid because they're just going to make you wait 10 years. No, if you read the report, what I was most impressed with is their redemptions are down to like what, 70,000 or 7,000?
No. So what happened was, and this is the part they snuck in there that I was kind of the most excited about, is at one point in time, they owed 70,000 outstanding redemptions. And they have managed to get that down to still owing 10,000 outstanding redemptions.
That's insane.
Now, but here's the part that they don't tell you about. How many of those redemptions of the 70,000 were Wander Franco redemptions that they just said, all right, we're not redeeming anymore. We're just going to send somebody something else. That was probably, look, with as much product as they released in 2019 and 2022, so it was a lot of redemption in 2022. What chunk of that 70,000 was Wander Franco stuff that they just replaced?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Hey, but getting it down like that is great. But back to what I was going at before, it's not extending the period for how long they're going to sign. That's so awesome is now all these boxes that have redemptions in them from those seasons where they would be void this year or void next year. Now you can buy boxes for a decade and still get those redemptions. That's the big point that people are overlooking here. And because I've seen so many people complain about it. And I'm like, well, there's nothing to complain about. They're
Well,
giving
what
you a
that's
bigger
done,
window, and now you can open that old wax. There's a lot of
right.
Panini products with stuff with the and tops with expired redemptions
Yep.
that you'll never get because they're expired. Yet now you can buy those older boxes and still hit those redemptions and get the cards.
So I'm curious as to how much of this is really about the taking care of their customers and extending the redemption period versus taking care of the dealers that are still sitting on a ton of product that they have to take a major hit on because the big stars and the big hits in those products are redemptions.
Well, I think,
you know, once they expire, it's like, okay, well, you can't get this Mike Trout auto anymore. So the value of the product just took a massive dive.
Exactly. Well, I think
that's where I think they really did this.
I absolutely agree. I think they wanted to keep the value. They understand. Look, Michael Rubin and them are not stupid. They understand the secondary market, and as we'll get to in a minute, they pay attention to the secondary market. As I just saw someone try and get a damage replacement done, and they literally sent him back something saying, "No, we know you bought it off of eBay, and we don't honor that." So they pay attention to the secondary market. They don't want. And I would, if I owned the company too, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want people looking at pick a year, Topps Chrome or whatever it is and say, oh, well, those boxes suck because all the big hits or redemptions you can't fulfill anymore.
Exactly.
Now you have a decade on that as opposed to 2 years. Absolutely. It's a wonderful move. And I think it's obvious that they're trying to go with as little redemptions as possible, which is wonderful. I think Panini's done the same thing, really. Redemptions are getting fulfilled incredibly fast now. Obviously, Topps says they're doing a great job, but this is another really impressive move, I think, towards fixing the redemption issue, which was kind of just thrown to collectors. And I don't really think they thought everything out when they did this at the beginning. Now they're kind of fixing it a little bit.
No, exactly. You know, there were some items that got taken off a checklist back in the day when they knew that they weren't getting them back.
Right.
You know, I remember when they would only put redemptions in when they knew that the signed cards were, you know, on their way back to Topps, and it just, you know, wasn't going to be there in time for the shipping window, you know, the pack out window for that particular product.
Yes.
But now it seems like, you know, it's like, all right, we know we're not going to get these back for 2 years, so we're just going to throw a redemption in there instead of removing it from the checklist like they used to do.
Yeah.
So I think but still extending that window, I agree with 100%, regardless of, you know, what I think the real motives were for extending the window. You know, it still is taking care of the customer in the end,
right?
You know, even if that wasn't necessarily their intention.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing it that way.
They saw it as twofold. They saw it as a twofold win.
Yeah, they're definitely playing up that aspect of it, but I think it's really more to help the dealers than it is to help the customers, because the dealers are able to move the product for the higher price at a longer period of time.
Right.
So that's
and also they're taking over basically distribution, so they're going to have that old product still as well, because they're going to be handling most of the distribution. So of course they want that product to remain high in value and high in demand.
Exactly. All right, so there's a lot of other stuff that's come out of the industry conference.
This whole segment right now is just transition to the Topps conference. Let's
exactly. So they also announced, and I thought this was a really freaking cool idea, that a lot of the players have started putting stickers on the bottom of their bat knobs that replicate a sizable chunk of their 2024 Topps card.
Yes.
And after that bat is being used in a game, the bat knobs are going to be cut off, and they're going to turn them into bat knob cards.
They look amazing.
I love it.
Awesome.
And I will say, I was not a fan of the 2024 Topps design when it first got announced, but after, you know, opening a bunch, seeing it in person, it has really grown on me.
Okay. It has not grown on me, but I will say they made up for it with better photography than usual.
Yes.
And not as many horizontal cards. So,
and and none of the rookies are horizontal.
Right. And
that's the best part.
I like that stuff, but the design still gets me, because I know it's designed for Chrome. When all the Chrome stuff comes out, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It still reminds me of a combination of 1986 Topps and Miami Vice.
Yeah, it reminds me of like when you walk into a let's say a not so nice convenience store and there's 25 neon signs in the window. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. But I just have the design's not for me, but it's not the whole card. I love the idea of just the bat knob, and we talked a little bit a while back about innovation in the hobby and how Topps talked about how they were going to do all this cool innovative stuff and all that, and about how they weren't doing it with the cards yet. Well, now they're doing announcements where I'm seeing some stuff where I can say, great job, guys. Now the new Chasen Bowman, aka the Magna ripoff.
I happen to looks good. I love it. I love the 1955 Bowman design.
Shohei Ohtani as Michael Jackson looks great. But look at it and tell me I'm wrong. Look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
It's just missing a hee tagline on the top. Yeah.
But I mean, let's call it what it is. Home field advantage is a downtown, and these are their new Magnas. That's what this is. But I like the innovation. I like the ideas. The bat knobs are brilliant. That was one that I thought overshadowed, in my opinion, in terms of innovation, what was probably the biggest announcement of the day. I love this bat knob idea. I hope it's in a different set than,
and that's what I was going to ask. This seems like, because it's got the 2024 Topps design on the bottom of the bat knob.
Yeah.
What I want to see is I want those bat knob cards to be put in the flagship products.
That's where I was going with this.
This has got to be something, that's not your traditional bat knob.
Yeah, not tier one.
It's not like putting like a Babe Ruth bat knob in Dynasty.
Right.
It's, this is something that there's going to be so many of them that this is something that really should be a chase 1 of 1 in Series 2. Maybe not Series 2 because they may not have gotten them back in time, but update or 2025 Series 1.
Chrome, whatever the hell you want to put it in.
I wouldn't necessarily do Chrome with it.
I wouldn't either, but that's where they put. I mean, Chrome updates where they put the
debut patches.
Who freaking knows? Like they seem to gravitate towards putting stuff in there. But I would like to see it in something like a flagship, like you said. Not only because it ties back to the flagship design, but it also gives the average collector and the normal collector that can't afford tier 1 case breaks and all this crap.
Yeah.
A chance at an awesome freaking bat knob card. I mean,
and they're probably going to have 250 different cards from Series 1. And I'm saying 250 instead of 350 because there's probably 100 pitchers in there that don't have bats anymore because the pitchers don't hit anymore.
Yeah.
Except for Ohtani.
Right.
But is he really a pitcher? He's
I know. Yeah.
But anyway. So I mean, hopefully they get the first batch of them back for Series 2 because that would be a cool thing to have in there.
It would. Now I want to know how long they announced this, but obviously they had to produce the bats already. I wonder if any of these have already started to be used and we just haven't seen it, because collectors have a great eye. They have a great eye, but no one's thought to look at the bat knob while they're batting. I wonder how many of these guys have started to use these bats already.
And that's one of those things where I kind of want to go back and look at pictures and video and things like that from certain players from games from the last, month and see, hey, do we notice anything? Because that's going to be one of those that is going to be noticeable compared to the old. A lot of players do have stickers on the bottom of their bat knobs. It's usually their name and their jersey number or something like that in various different colors. So I am very curious to see if any of those have hit the market or, have hit the field.
Right. Now, they did say, a number of players, so we don't know exactly how many. They showed a example of Noah Shanuel and, both of his cards, his image variation and his base. He was the one from the Angels that they actually chose to show this off with.
Yeah.
So I wonder if his is one of the first. I wonder if something they're going to do with rookies.
Well, but that brings
him. They did show him with his image variation and his base.
Yes, and that was the thing. That was the next thing I was going to bring up is, so now all of a sudden we potentially have 2 from each one. And obviously they would all be one of ones. So it's
Yes.
not like the image variation, would carry a higher value because it's short printed than the standard variation.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden we may have, if 250 of the subjects from Series 1 are participating in this, now all of a sudden we potentially have 500 different cards, different bat knobs that you can have. So
I just like it because, hey, everyone always complains, oh, another patch card, oh, another relic, oh, another this. Here's an awesome, unique, new piece, new chase card, which hopefully, like we said, is put in a semi-reasonable product. I thought this was a genius thing and a great job of, like I said, the innovation that I've been looking for, that I've been wanting to see.
Yeah, and I think it's a solid way to to kind of roll with it.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have the bat knobs. We've got the 2024 Bowman insert. I love the thing. I think it's a great.
It looks awesome. It looks great. But the first thing I thought of was Prism. Like I immediately jumped to, oh look, it's the Magnus. Like they got their magnets, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, when Topps lost football, Origins is literally Inception. So, I mean, they took the printing plates for year one. They literally bought the printing plate from Topps. So, I mean, it happens all the time. So, let's roll with it. Those are your new magnets, though. Looks like we got those in Bowman.
Yeah, really excited to see those. All right, what else do we have from the industry conference?
Well, the big news, which dropped today, is Topps Chrome basketball, baby.
Yes.
Topps Chrome basketball is coming back, and they announced today 8 products starting this year. Before they get the license officially switches over October of 2025. They will be releasing 8 products this year, a mix of active and retired players. They will have the Topps Chrome, and the other 7 products will have Wemby, LeBron, Curry, KD, and tons of legends and a lot more other people.
And you better believe that all of these products are going to be labeled 23-24.
Yes.
Specifically so they could throw the rookie card logo on the Wembys.
1,000%.
And they did post a mock-up of it. It's using the 2023 Topps design, which they've used in they used it in soccer. They used obviously baseball. Too. They used it in Formula One, which is actually one of my favorite designs that they've had in the last couple of years. The question is, how the hobby treats the I'll use the quote unquote unlicensed term, even though it is licensed. It's just a player license and not a league or players association license. So I'm curious as to, obviously with Wemby, with the autos, it's going to be his only autograph cards because he doesn't have a deal with Panini. So the autos, I think, are going to sell for ridiculous amounts of money.
Oh, God, yes.
The base cards, though, I still don't see a base Wemby Topps Chrome doing as well as a base Prism.
I agree with you there. One thing I do want to add, Topps, please tell me you're just testing rookie card logos, because that freaking basketball rookie card logo is ugly as hell. Jesus fucking Christ, what were you guys thinking? I hate it. It is so ugly, but I'll get past that. I agree. I think the autos, they're going to sell for tremendous amounts. But what we're overlooking here is also you've got LeBron. You've got the chance now at LeBron and Wemby duels. You've got the chance of Curry, LeBron, Wemby triples. They've got a lot of big names in this, and they've got a lot of stuff they can do. Maybe not in Topps Chrome, where dual autos aren't huge, but in things like Finest, which they did announce Chrome, Finest, and Cosmic as 3 of the ones, which we're going to talk about some Cosmic later. So those 3 are coming out. They did say they're going to do some high-end stuff as well, kind of on a flawless National Treasures idea. I don't know if it's going to be Dynasty or if it's going to be something new that they're going to,
I think they would be smart. I think they would be smart to use the existing high-end product name.
I do too, but they weren't really completely clear on that at the conference, which makes me think they may be moving into a couple of new product, at least names for high-end stuff. I don't know. It's clear, full speculation on that, but now they are. A lot of people are saying, unlicensed, blah blah blah. I think this is a brilliant move by Topps. You've got to start getting people used to your product. You've got to get people used to, hey, we can make these cards. Start showing people what you're putting out. Start getting ready. Get the production ready.
Yeah.
So it's not a complete shit show when you start in 2025. Get this stuff rolling. Get it out there. You don't miss out on Wemby, which is huge.
Yeah.
You get LeBron in there, which is massive. And I mean, like I said, they've got Curry, KD, and countless legends. I mean, from Dirk to Bird. I mean, everybody that they can do this with. But it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, on the rookie card side, the non-auto stuff, especially for Wemby. I don't think those are going to hold near the value of his Prism, stuff like that. Now his Super and stuff like that, yes.
That's a whole nother. I still don't see a non-auto Superfractor out of Topps Chrome beating out the black.
It's not going to beat it up, but I'm just saying someone's going to pay stupid money.
Someone will pay stupid money for it. But here's what I think they're going to wind up doing on the high end. I think they're going to design something like National Treasures, and if they don't use an existing product name like Dynasty or something like that, I think they're going to they're probably going to play on the National Treasures name, and they'll wind up calling it International Booty. Because Booty is an old school name for treasure. So we're gonna roll with that. I think we're gonna call it International Booty from now on. And Ruben, if you're listening, which I know you.
I know a lot of y'all are.
Just give me credit for coming up with that one.
Exactly.
Maybe do it as an insert or something like that. It's gonna be the International Booty insert.
International Booty. I like it.
As long as it can go on so many different levels. And if you don't wind up using it, maybe the guys at Benchwarmers could use that one, because I think it would work with them too. And for those of you that don't know what Benchwarmers is, go ahead and look that one up, and you'll understand.
Yes.
So look, a lot of good stuff coming up, and there's still going on. There's still some news that's going to drop. I'm sure there's some stuff we're going to miss because it happened after we're recording the show this week. But really excited. And the last couple of years, the news that has come out of the Topps Industry Conference has been solid.
It has, yes.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about something after the break that is not so solid, and I guarantee you they're not going to be discussing it at the industry conference.
No.
But you know who is going to be discussing it?
We are.
Drew. Drew is going to be discussing it because we have a massive rant coming up from Drew. Woo! It's one of his favorite things, and we're going to touch on that after the break.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in on YouTube. We got a lot of watchers today. Love that. A lot of people in the comments. What's up, Ziggy? Good to see you, my man. Daniel, Christopher, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, yes, Daniel needs to get into a big booty break.
International booty, baby. Topps International Booty.
I love that one.
Great.
Hopefully I'll get some credit for that. And
they'll use it too. Don't put it past them.
And then look, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Shit on cards now, so they'll do it.
I honestly don't care who uses it. I just want credit for coming up with the name.
That's another story.
So look, I don't want money. I don't want money. I just want the credit. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
All right, so we do have one really interesting announcement here real quick that'll be, I guess, an exclusive for the back-end coverage. Topps did just announce this a couple hours ago as well. See, why can't they use the rookie card design they have for football for basketball? Jesus, it looks so nice. 2023 Topps Motif Football is coming soon.
Yeah.
So they're bringing out some football as well. Now the football doesn't kick in. The football doesn't kick in till 2026, I believe.
Yeah, but it seems. Excuse me.
They just want that Stroud auto out there.
There's a design, and that's what they. This headline signatures. Yeah. It looks. I don't know why, but this seems like it's
Rush
luminaries type.
Yes.
To it, or
Court Kings almost.
It looks like a combination of Luminaries, Obsidian, and a Color Blast.
Yeah.
With the way that the background is designed. So I'm willing to bet that this was designed by one of the former Panini employees that came over to Topps.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, we got this Color Blast thing. Let's use the background and, tweak it just a little bit to kind of make it our own.
You're going to get one, Christopher. It's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We probably
but yeah, I did see that.
I got a lot of messages about my last one. This one won't be as mean. I'll try and be nicer.
And you know what else? You know what else Topps announced that we didn't talk about either, because it's not the last time they released this product. It wasn't really a huge seller. Was they got Carlos Alcaraz?
Yeah.
On an autograph deal as well. So he's going to be in 2024 Topps Chrome Tennis this summer. Hopefully,
we got a question right here from Daniel Rodriguez. Who's going to do an Olympic basketball set with all the big guys doing their last hurrah this summer, Topps or Panini? It's a very good question.
So Topps does, I believe, still have the Olympic license.
I'm 99% sure.
They usually put out the Olympic set, the Olympic product during those years. So I would not, and especially since they have most of those guys as
I was about to say, a lot of them are locked down on exclusives.
Exclusives or as just as general signers. I think a lot of them you'll see.
I think Topps will be the mainstay, and the ones that you'll probably see as the bigger chases, especially with women's basketball. They're going to do a lot with Caitlin Clark being in there. So
except that they don't have her for autographs.
Yeah, but the cards will still move. But it's going to be interesting. I do think Panini's going to do something. I think they're going to have to tweak their words. They're probably not going to be able to use the Olympic logo, but they're going to celebrate it in some way, shape, or form, because both teams, men's and women's, are freaking stacked.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason.
Insane.
There is no reason that either team should not be bringing home gold.
No, not at all. But that's a good question. I do think it'll end up being Topps, Daniel, but we will see on that one. That's one we don't really have too many answers to, but I would expect Panini to do some stuff with the people they have, like Caitlin and stuff like that. But the big cards and the big sets, I would assume, are probably going to come from Topps.
Yeah, no, I would. That would be my guess as well. Just because they've wants to put out the Olympic products in the past.
Yeah.
And I believe they still have the license for that, at least for Team USA.
Yeah.
And they're most likely going to be releasing that product once the teams are decided. Who's going to be on. Obviously, basketball's decided, and stuff like that. But the other sports that they throw in there, who are the swimmers that are going to be in there, who are the gymnasts and the track and field athletes and things like that. And there's some solid track and field athletes that I think will sell really well out of that product too.
Yeah.
And then of course the skateboarding events, which I like as well.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw the freaking new Tampa, the Devil Rays uniforms for the sit, bro. Those things are sick. I want an on-field jersey. If anyone knows how to get those freaking city editions, did you see what they did with the nameplates and the numbers?
Yeah, it's I did. By the way, you do know. So I have a city edition Cubs jersey. And
I need that Devil Rays just for the grip tape. Bro.
Yeah, but I will say that you can get them from the team store.
Okay,
you can order them online. Which is on all the MLB team stores happen to be run by Fanatics. So
of course they do. They have an ownership. I mean, they have a shared ownership stake in this shit. So
no, exactly. So so you can get them.
Good deal. I didn't know if you could because I've never tried to buy one, but those new jerseys look fucking amazing.
But you know what I would love to have seen with some of the City Connect jerseys, and it would work really well with the Tampa Bay ones.
What's that?
Do you remember back in the 90s? The hypercolor shirts that heat up, they change colors, and you put your hamper on or whatever.
Yes.
Can you imagine a City Connect jersey, but with the hypercolor technology?
That's a really good idea.
When the athlete sweats or gets warm, it changes.
That's a really good idea. I wish they had done that with the Tampa Bay jersey, because they did do the kind of faded look where it's it's faded in parts, like it had been left out in the sun. I wish
that's what reminded me. That's what reminded me of it.
That would have been awesome.
The way that the Tampa jersey looked. So that's what I would have done. Now I don't know if it would fit. I don't know if it would fit within MLB's requirements, because obviously if it changes color,
probably
it may conflict with depending on what it changed to, it may conflict with the other team. But if it went from like black to, let's say, pink, there's no other team that's got pink, so they could do something like that, and or yellow, or whatever, like black and yellow would be kind of cool.
But I just like the skateboarding culture, which is huge down in Florida, especially the Tampa area. I mean, that's massive old school skateboarding culture. I just like seeing it in the mainstream and them kind of embracing it. It's pretty cool. I hope to see some relic cards with it, because I want to get a relic card with the grip tape numbers. Sorry, I'll chase it. Even I don't care who the player is. I'll chase it. But
I can see that.
I mean,
so, all right.
So all
right, bring it back into the regular show, and then we'll go on. All right, welcome back, everybody. Bills are paid. Time to move on. And speaking of paying bills, I have a huge announcement to make. That is going to be a game changer within the industry.
And I don't know about this, so I'm looking forward.
You have no idea about this.
Yeah.
So starting tomorrow, May 1st. So if you're watching on YouTube, tomorrow. If you're listening on the podcast, it could be today. It could be yesterday. Whenever Drew gets all the editing done.
Yeah, I mean,
I am actually starting a new position with a new company.
Okay.
I am taking on the role as VP of Partner Operations for a company called BeadPay. Now, those of you that know me know that I've been in the payments industry for a very long time. And it's typically business as usual. Use your credit card, process the payment, here we go. This is a game changer, though, because not only, and you're asking, why does this matter to the hobby? And I'm getting to that. So in addition to standard credit card payments and the digital wallets like PayPal and Venmo and Zelle, the platform will also be able to process cryptocurrency payments.
Wow, I think that's what I was.
And
thinking.
There's a lot of people within the hobby that also play in the crypto market.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the best part. The merchant or seller, so like let's say you go to a card show and there's a dealer that's using our platform to accept payments.
Yeah.
That dealer doesn't necessarily have to be in the cryptocurrency space, because the platform will automatically convert it to cash and deposit the cash directly into the customer's account, just like they would with a normal credit card. So there's no risk of chargebacks on cryptocurrency payments. Yep. And the biggest issue with cryptocurrency, aside from the volatility of the market itself, is how many people actually accept it as payment.
Well, yeah, and it can be a pain in the ass to cash out.
Exactly, and that's the reason that a lot of people don't accept it, is because they just don't want to play in the market. But we also have
fees to like 4 different companies by the time you cash it to your ultimate final destination.
Yep.
You're paying so much in fees, it's not worth even thinking about. That
exactly. And there's a lot of people, especially that deal in the high end within the hobby, that are sitting. Hey, do you take Bitcoin? We do now.
That's awesome. So there was actually a card that was just sold. I don't remember which one it was, but it was sold at Culture Collision for right around a Bitcoin. So
which is sitting right now at like mid 60,000s.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be a mainstream way to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment on the same platform that you're already taking your Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover.
Obviously, you working in that position, you deal with a lot of people in the hobby industry as your client. So a lot of people are going to be using this. That's pretty awesome.
And a lot of people outside. Interesting. And I think it's going to do wonders for the cryptocurrency industry, but it's also going to give people a way to. This is the first time people are actually going to have a mainstream way to spend their cryptocurrency.
Yes.
I mean,
pretty big.
It's big. It's going to be
congratulations,
huge in the hobby.
by the way.
It's huge outside the hobby. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited with the implications that this system is going to have within the hobby.
Sure.
Because I think it's going to be a game changer, especially at
the high end area,
at the national. Yes. And with online payments, the breakers, I think are going to
and the high end cards. You mentioned the high end market in general. It's going to be massive. Yeah.
But this is going to be a way, like the auction houses, if they adopt this platform, will then have the ability to accept, Bitcoin. And again, there's other cryptos besides Bitcoin. I'm just using that as an example. But imagine or Heritage being
Yeah.
able to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment, and instead of a wire transfer without any risk of chargebacks or anything like that.
Hey Ken, I know you listen. Here you go. Give Scott a call.
This is gonna be a game changer.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know a lot of people that use your system, and I'm sure are going to use this one. So I might try that. I dabble in a little bit of crypto. I like the idea of if I see something and the vendor is able to accept it, I like the idea of being able to spend my crypto on cards. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, not just cards. I mean, it's really you may see 7-Eleven adopt it. I don't know. I'm just throwing that name out there because they're everywhere. And you buy a Slurpee with Bitcoin.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, it's not what I would spend my Bitcoin on, but it's there.
Yep.
So
nice.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
You brought this to my attention. All right. This is the thing. So, Topps Chrome Cosmic.
Yeah.
Was supposed to have a parallel that was releasing the product this year with Venus. The parallel is called Venus.
Yeah. Well, it was the whole solar system. The parallels go through the entire solar system, and each one was supposed to be harder to get than the other, all the way down to Pluto. Yet Venus never appeared. No Venuses ever showed up on the secondary market. So they had Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, the whole thing all the way down. They had the sun, all of it. But no Venuses had ever showed up, making people wonder what the hell's going on. Did they make these? Did they pack them out? Topps, of course, didn't say shit about it. They just let people open tons and tons of boxes.
Yeah.
Well, now, all of a sudden, 3 of them pop up. 2 listed by the exact same seller on eBay.
Now hold on. It is possible though. It is possible they're showing up now because we all know women are from Venus and they're always late. So they're always running late. So maybe this is just a continuation of that.
No, this is more bullshit. I'll tell you right now, these cards were fucking stolen. These cards, I look, it's speculation, yes, but it comes right back to the rant that I did a couple weeks ago where I talked about it. There are massive production issues in this fucking industry right now, especially with Topps. We've seen more backdoored, stolen crap. These are absolutely, I don't lump these in as the rant I did a couple weeks ago as bad as the autograph method. I think this was stolen from factory probably. I think these people probably held them. I don't really know how they got these, but they've been out now for a good week or so and no more are showing up, but Topps is still silent again. But wait, they're having a conference where they're announcing 9 million things. Hey, I don't know. Maybe it's a good time to address it. I don't know.
Yeah,
just me.
Maybe it's not going to happen.
Ridiculous,
but maybe. I would like to see an announcement that they're tightening security at the factories and.
No!
Hiring a bunch of people now to actually be present for autograph signings with athletes.
They're more worried about putting out a report that an independent study finds that breakers don't get loaded boxes. The report just came out 2 days ago that an independent investigation shows that Topps products are packed out at random. They're much more concerned with you making sure that breakers don't get loaded boxes than the cards not being in the fucking product, people stealing it, people putting them online early, the people that are actually in charge of getting them signed, stealing entire runs. They're not worried about that. They just want to make sure that no one's getting a loaded box.
So who paid for said independent investigation?
I'd love to know.
Oh, no, I know.
It's on Wired. The article's from Wired, so I'm assuming that
they paid for it.
Yeah.
So is it truly independent?
No.
If they paid for it?
No.
Would they have released it if they found that, hey, breakers did get loaded boxes?
No.
Now, I'm not saying that it's not legit.
Right.
I'm just saying that if we would never have heard about this independent audit.
Nope.
Had it found that certain people were getting loaded boxes.
Exactly.
And frankly, I think the fact that the LeBron Bronny dual auto superfactor came out of Jim and Steve's out of Waukegan instead of out of,
a Fanatics Live, where it was
Fanatics Live breaker, or one of the big ones like Leighton or Blez, or any number that I'm forgetting, that are huge. I think that shows that that it is random,
right? Yeah, but no, that's what they're concerned about. They want to make sure that. But all this stuff about theft, all these autographs going missing. Still, someone show me a Kumar Rocker Mojo auto. All the cards that have obviously been stolen this year with the Topps Platinum Anniversary. Someone did the damn same thing at the exact same place that they did it last year, Arizona Fall League. But yet, they're not looking into that stuff. They're looking into, your loaded boxes. It's crap, man. They've got to, guys. You listen to the show. I got 3 texts from Topps employees after the last show. You guys are listening. Why won't you just come out and say it? You listen, you text me about it afterwards, but you still won't address it publicly. Come on, guys.
Now, I will say I'm not against them doing the audit to show that loaded boxes aren't going to.
I'm not against it either, but you're ignoring something that's been going on for 2 fucking years.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Well, you know what isn't a problem?
I'm done.
All right, cool. But you know what isn't? You know what isn't a problem?
No.
At least not for me.
What's that?
Last week's NFL draft.
Yeah. Not for me either. For a while.
As a Bears fan, even though the number of picks was low due to due to some trades, the quality of the picks for the first time in as long as I can remember, was absolutely deserving of an A+ grade.
Sure. I mean, I'll give it to you for now. You're welcome for that pick, by the way. Fuck you. But I'm still bitter over that trade. But
hey, y'all got what you wanted for it last year.
Yeah,
y'all got Bryce Young.
Shush. All right, now the Bears may be the winner of the NFL draft in terms of football teams, and you can argue that they might end up being the winner. But you know who the real winner, at least in the hobby, from the NFL draft was? Breakers.
Yes.
8 quarterbacks. Are you freaking kidding me? Breakers should have been throwing a damn party on draft night when they saw how that shit was going down.
Well,
Breakers be going crazy right now.
Here's why they're not.
Why is that?
What we don't know yet is how many of the players that were drafted, especially the quarterbacks, especially the ones that went in the first round, how many of them are going to end up as Fanatics exclusive signers? We don't know.
Stroud proved it didn't really matter this year. His shit still sells for a ton, but you are right. The autos, we don't know yet. Top did not announce anything at the conference yet. They said there were no announcements on any exclusive signings, but we talked months ago about this. There's already quite a few that have lined up to sign that exclusive. I would expect to see more, but we had something a little interesting, Scott, a little different. We had our first big, let's call him the Bobby Witt of the NFL, I guess.
Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr., who I was actually hoping the Bears were going to trade up to 4th from their 9th pick.
Yeah, I thought they would.
In order to snag him. I will say I am thrilled with the Roma Dunze pick.
Yeah, have fun with that shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, Rome. We're just calling him Rome.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that pick. Obviously, the Caleb Williams thing, stuff like that.
Right.
But Marvin Harrison Jr. has refused to sign his NFLPA licensing agreement.
Yes.
Which means, what that means, I mean, this is crazy. Not only are you not, until he signs it, you're not going to get autographs out of him, but you're also not going to get cards, period. Which means, unlike CJ Stroud, where we do have football cards for him from last year because he did sign that agreement, Marvin Harrison Jr. so far has not signed the Players Association licensing agreement, which means no cards, no jerseys.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yep.
Why?
I know. I have no idea.
I mean, clearly this is representative of the poor quality Ohio State education
yes.
that he has.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to look. I take shots at Ohio State whenever I can.
Of course.
Sorry, guys. I take shots at the Ohio State University whenever I can.
Yeah.
But this is just,
it's a very weird move.
Yes. I mean, what is he? Is he trying to get more money out of it? Which I don't think he's going to get, because I think it's a standard.
It's a standard
contract.
Yeah.
He can't negotiate for it.
No.
You're either in and you're going to get paid for it, or you're out.
Now, the only thing I could see, the only thing that I could see here is, and I think it would be the dumbest move in the world, but him possibly doing something with card artists, like Tyson Beck, who can get something to sign with him and make stuff, that he can make cards that have no logos, none of that type of stuff. He does it with other athletes all the time. I don't know. I don't think this isn't about cards for him, obviously, but we're a hobby show, so we're going to talk about the card aspect of this. But I think it doesn't make sense to me. It just does. It seems like you're leaving millions on the table in just potential revenue for yourself. I don't understand it, but it's going to be something very interesting to watch. And I said it before, some of these Bowman U cards can end up be worth a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
If he doesn't sign for a year or two, let's say he signs year 3 or something like that, that's the only stuff you have from him is what you've got this year. And that's it. And be thankful that shit's there. I mean, those could end up being his big cards, because not signing with the NFLPA, it's unprecedented hobby-wise.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this happen before.
I mean, I'm sure there's people who haven't signed, but they're not people that you want to chase. They're just nobodies. But this is the first issue of someone who could be the rookie of the year, who could be the star of the rookie class, even though with all the quarterbacks, the hype will probably be around somebody else. But he's going to be up there. To have him not in this is, I don't know, interesting.
This is a big one.
Yeah, this is a big baffling one to me. But jerseys, everything, I don't understand it. Like, this is just bad. In my opinion, this is bad representation by his agent, unless they have a real grievance that they need to make public and explain it. It just looks like, to me, you're starting off right away showing that you're surrounding yourself with probably not the best people.
No, exactly. Now, I will say, for the podcast listeners that are out there, we normally don't address comments during segments and things like that, but Christopher Brown put out an interesting one. The Harrison Jr.'s issue is with the NFLPA hierarchy. That's Chris's understanding of what the issue is.
Sure.
And I think that would, potentially be a decent explanation for it.
Yes.
And it is very possible that
there's been a lot of change too. Leadership changed. A lot of people in high up positions have changed the last couple of years. So there could be an uneasiness in that. But I mean,
but at the same time, it's not going to affect the amount of money that, look, you want your fans to wear your jerseys.
Yes.
Forget about the cards for a minute.
Yes.
Players make a ton of money off jersey sales.
Yes, they do.
You want fans to be able to go out and buy your jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
That can't happen until you sign the NFLPA licensing.
Yes. Yep.
So, look, I get it. Maybe he's got a problem with some of the guys that are running the NFLPA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I probably would too. I've got issues with the NFLPA. I've got issues with the MLBPA, the NBAPA. Pick one. I'm sure I could find issues with the NHLPA. I mean, look, there's going to be issues, but you're losing out on money. Money's not the biggest thing for him because he's going to get a massive payday. Fourth overall draft pick. But think of your fans that want to spend their hard-earned money to put your number on their back.
Yeah. The people that are paying the hard-earned money to go to the games, the people that are watching you on TV, that are giving the owners the ability to pay you this large sum of money, you're basically giving a big fuck you to all of them.
No, exactly. And I will say Ohio State has a massive fan base.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they've got a massive fan base.
Yeah, they do.
And they will follow you and buy your jersey for whatever team you end up going to.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's not the team that they root for.
Yeah.
They will spend money on your stuff because you came from Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
This is this is a big middle finger
to all of them.
Yeah, to all the fans, not only Ohio State fans, but for your NFL team. Where do you go? Cardinals?
Yes.
Yeah. So, this is a big FU to the Cardinals fans.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's many out there.
But I was about to say,
they're. I mean, look, they lost their hockey. They lost their hockey team.
Jack Darby and 4 other people are pissed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but they're still out there. They want to spend money. They want to put your number on their back, and they can't do that until you just buck up and sign the damn deal.
Yeah. And like I said, if you've got an issue, you need to come out publicly and state it. You need to put all this stuff out there of why you're not doing it, because otherwise it does just look like a big FU to your fans. But hey, like I said, I think you would think this kid would have the best people around him, considering his dad was a fucking model NFL player and kind of thought of as one of the nicest and best players in history at his position. You'd think he'd have an amazingly smart team around him. Maybe there's an end game here that they're looking for, but I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but hey, you know what, Drew?
What's that?
I think it's time for us to give a big FU to our fans, because I think it's time. I think it's a great time to say we'll see you next week.
I do agree. So, guys, that is going to do it for episode 218 of Let Me Get That Pottergraph. Before you go, I do want to thank our awesome sponsors, Denver Card Show. Show your slab strong, stand-up displays, card ladder, game time, sports cards, and, of course, Zion cases. Remember, get 10% off all your entire order over at Zion Cases by using the code DH right over there, or over there. Yeah. Just put that in, 10% off your entire order. Could not do the show without you guys. Thank you so much. New article will be up on Hobby News Daily here next week. Also have a very big piece regarding the top stolen stuff that we've been talking about that I'm going to be putting up there sometime this month. Just got to get a couple more sources, a little more stuff together. That'll be up. Also, Hobby Hotline every single Saturday, 11 a.m. over on Bench Clear Media. But Scott, good to be back, my man.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Till then, you guys know the deal. Keep ripping those packs, pulling those hits. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
All right.
So, thank you, everybody.
Yes, Chris, I do want to point out your last comment. I'm going to put this up again. I put it up earlier. Is that you share my hatred of Ohio State. Yours dates back to the Maurice Claret days. I honestly don't have a problem with the school itself. I don't have a problem with any of the players that have come out of that school itself. My issue is with, and the reason that I hate Ohio State so much is the fans. The fans are the most obnoxious people on the planet. Agreed. They are worse. They are worse than Packer fans.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's tough.
They are worse than Dodgers fans.
Yeah.
And look, anybody from San Francisco will tell you there's nothing worse than a Dodgers fan. But they're still, no. This is one of those things where, like, that is it.
That's it. And you're done. Yeah.
Look, my brother-in-law went to Ohio State and is an obnoxious Ohio State fan. I've got a couple of good friends that went to Ohio State that are, look, they're good people. Fine. But when you start getting into the whole Ohio State thing, it's absolutely bonkers. Stop.
Yeah. So Daniel Rodriguez, question right here. Before we guys, leave any questions, comments, anything you do have while we're wrapping up here in the post-show green room. Daniel Rodriguez, over under price. What's WNBA Prism gonna be when it drops? Jeez,
$300 a box.
You think so? Okay.
Caitlin Clark autos, $300 a box.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say 350.
Interesting.
I think
keep in mind
I think they're gonna try and push 400, but I think it's gonna go 350.
Because I think the current year WNBA Prism, I believe, is like 150 a box.
Oh, I know.
So I think it's going to be double. Now, but here's the other thing. People are paying $300 a box right now for Upper Deck Series 2 hockey.
Exactly.
And those Bedards are selling for ridiculous amounts of money, even though they're completely mass produced. I don't see. I see more than 250 on a WNBA Prism hobby box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it higher than 300 because again, they weren't 300 when Sabrina Ionescu was in there.
But this is
and was the hottest thing on the planet. They were still like 175, 200 for the box.
Yeah. Drew, we'll see. We shall see. Oh, it's way longer than 4 years. We're see a 4-year anniversary, dude. But it's like it might be 4 years on iHeartRadio now.
That could be.
Maybe 4 years on iHeartRadio, but this show is almost a decade old now. God.
I know. What was it, 2017 was the first show?
Wow, 2017. Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah, so no, it goes back. It's been a lot longer than 4 years.
I think it might be 4 years since iHeartRadio, maybe. But
that's a possibility.
Yeah. But we're gonna have a lot of stuff planned for. We're gonna have some real big shows planned coming up. We always do. We always have some big celebrations. We're at 218 right now, so we'll be doing something big.
I want to say when we get to it's 234 or 235. That'll be my 100th episode.
Your 100th, yeah. So we'll definitely be doing something special for all of those.
Yep.
And we're gonna do we'll do one of our big live shows with panel guests and everything. Full panel, a lot of people call in show. We'll have one of those up really soon. I forgot to say we were live on the Twitter today as well.
Yes.
So what's up, all Twitter fans? Thank you for tuning in as well. But hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Thank you all for tuning in. But Scott, unless you've got anything else,
no.
I am all wrapped up for the day.
No, I got a contract I have to go sign.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Go sign that contract. All right, guys.
It's gonna be huge for the hobby.
I think so. I think so. I like it. I like what I heard. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that, so it's pretty cool. But looking forward to seeing what comes to it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, guys. We will be back next week. It will be an early show in the week. We're going to be getting back to a regular schedule, but it is going to be earlier in the week as most of my travel ends up towards the end. So episodes will be coming out a little earlier. All shows, of course, will be live here on YouTube, and you can find the audio version on all major podcast networks. But we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
And now the awkward time where we don't know if...
No idea if we're off or not.